So, after a long time, here we are. I missed making videos for YouTube. This is something that I really enjoy. But I want to talk about something that I also enjoyed watching recently, which was How to Train Your Dragon. It was the live adaptation of a film that was released a decade ago in animation, and I have a lot to talk about that film. But this was also the first film I watched in 4DX. Before this, I did not have any experience of 4DX. I have been wanting to watch a 4DX film since a really long time, but the circumstances were such that I didn't really get to. But finally, the stars aligned and I managed to watch this film in 4DX. So, a couple of points here. Um, Firstly, I had not watched the animated version before this. So this is going to be a review from a POV of someone who doesn't have any idea about the storyline and who has just watched this film fresh. At the same time, I went to watch it with someone who had watched the story animated one as a kid. So he told me a couple of points too. So considering all of that, I'll be giving my raw, unedited review here. You can watch it at 1.5x for your convenience, or 2x, whatever you prefer. But about the 4DX experience, the movie was supposed to start at 6, and then I estimated that for a 2 hour 5 minutes film, it would take us like 8 5 or something. But then the entire runtime was around 8:30, and it is because the theater that we went to, they said that after the movie is supposed to start, for the next 30 minutes they'll just run ads so that the audience can get their popcorn and whatever they want to buy. And it is only after that, or those initial 30 minutes of the actual time of the start of the film, that the movie will actually start, and then there will be no interval. So I kind of like the no interval thing for movies, 4DX movies, but the thing is, it kind of was a disappointing element that you gave us an official time for the start of the film, and then you are just showing ads for the next 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So that did not really make sense. Apart from that, the movie started. It's a simple story of a boy, and every person is a Viking in his family, and he himself is a Viking, but he's looked down upon because he's not as perceivably strong in the family. And later on, he meets a dragon, uh, and all of their families are like against dragon. They kill them, but eventually this guy tries to kill the dragon, but ultimately ends up making friends with him because he couldn't kill him. And then the dragon and this guy, our main guy, both of them just mingle along really well, and then he learns his tactics and all of different things to deal with a dragon. And eventually he demonstrates those skills that he learned to deal with a dragon without directly killing them, and then he makes a big name in the society because of that, and ultimately comes down to a big fight in the end when his father decides to actually invade um, the dragons. So this is not that big of a spoiler, I hope. Actually, not really, because it's more about the experience than the story. Because I'm pretty sure that like 80% of the people are aware about the story, or like a huge chunk is aware about the story. So assuming that I'm talking about a little bit of spoilers here, but still anything I've said this far hasn't ruined the story. But I might cover up some spoilers, so keep that in mind. Apart from that, let's first talk about the other elements in the film. The idea of keeping the black dragon. I'm sorry, I'm bad with the names. This was my first How to Train Your Dragon film. Um, so there was this black dragon, okay, and the idea of not making it realistic and making it animating it in a way that is similar to the animated version was pretty good, and they made it work really well because in the end there is a very big fight, and there's a dragon that looks ultra realistic, and then there is our main guy's dragon, and both of them are there in the screen at the same time, and mixing that and making it work is a real task to do, because if something is looking super realistic and the other looks not so realistic, it's difficult to balance the two. But the team did a great job at balancing that, so kudos to the team for that. um, the person I went to watch this film with, my friend, he told me that um, this film is like a cut to cut remake of the previous animated version. So it's good in certain ways for me because it gives me the idea of what the film is supposed to look like, um, without me having to see the animated version. So it's good for the new people, a new audience that this film is going to form, but not so good for the people who enjoyed the film n number of times, because it's literally the same. About the acting part, the guy who played the dad, Viking dad, he did a great job, I would say. The costumes were somewhere between okay to good, I would say. But considering that it was made for primarily for kids, you can just let that go. It was not that big of a deal. The sets weren't looking like they were set, and it felt like I am immersed in that storyline. For a film that is set up on an island, a lot of water can be used for the 4DX. So that wasn't the case. It was only used like once or twice in the entire film. So that was a little disappointing because I was expecting more of water. Apart from that, whenever our seats were shaking, I enjoyed that, and I had a mixed feeling about it. But overall, I enjoyed it because to some extent I was feeling immersed in the film, and then there were certain scenes where like the dragon is flying through the sky and going all sorts of places, and then the wind, literal wind, is gushing through your body from the behind. So that was an immersive experience to some level, I would say. um, and whenever the smoke would come on the screen, like in the 4DX version, in my specific theater, like smoke would pop up from the bottom right, which ended up looking very weird because in the movie the smoke is all going all around in the screen, but in the 4DX version, like the real smoke was coming and was just coming from the bottom right, and then it just disappeared there. So it looked very weird. It did not add up to the immersion for me. So that was kind of disappointing. Apart from that, talking about the main story, I would say that in this film, the characters are rather superficial because their agenda and motives change very quickly. Because in the first half, you are getting to know about the storyline. In the second half, the um, change of heart for the father takes place very quickly, I would say, and then the people change their mind also very quickly, and whatever they have done with showing the love angle between him, our main guy, and the main girl in the film, it did not make much sense, but also considering that it was catering to the primary audience of kids, it's alright, you can just let that pass. All in all, it was a nice film to zone out to, I would say. If you want to watch a film and just casually watch a film, have a nice experience, I would say go for 4DX. You're going to like it. It's not going to be something brilliantly mind blowing, but it's going to be something that for a fun hangout day you can watch this movie and then just forget about it. So that is what I would say, and for sure this film is going to make good money. Uh, because considering that the last animated film that I watched in the theaters was Minecraft, it was so bad that I had to leave it right after watching Chicken Jockey. All we paid money just to watch Chicken Jockey, and then I left along with my friend. That's what I did when I went to watch Minecraft. So considering I watched this film after Minecraft, it was a much better experience, I would say. And I wasn't disappointed with the film. I wasn't disappointed with the 4DX experience. It was a nice experience to have, I would say. I wouldn't really consider 4DX for all sorts of movies. I wasn't planning to watch F1, but after hearing about it from a lot of people around me, I'm considering watching that too, and hopefully the 4DX for that would be good. So let's see how that goes. I'll drop a video of that too whenever the movie gets released. But all in all, you can watch that film, and that is what I had to say about that. I think I'm forgetting one point. Yeah, about the girl character. One of my friends with whom I went to watch told me that, hey, the girl character is very different in the animated version, and they have completely changed it. And when he showed me the picture of the character, I was like, okay, wow. So it was completely different. Like, that was something in the film. Not, I don't have anything to complain about that in particular, but I can understand that the people who have enjoyed this franchise might not uh, give a thumbs up to the um, costume design for the girl character in the film. So yeah, that was all in all in my 2 bits on the film. You can do all the like, subscribe, and all sort of stuff. I plan to make raw unedited videos for this channel. So if you're into that, if you like heart to heart conversations, unedited videos, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.